Hey, everyone. It's Bear from Bear's Workshop, and we are here for the 30th episode of Fast Charging with BnB. And we don't have a B. That's what we have right there. That's what Brian is looking like. Brian is rebooting or something. Just don't know what he's doing. He just sent me a message that he needed 3 minutes. So I figure I'd get started and keep everyone from waiting. JJ says, let's talk about Nikola before he gets here. Well, we do have one thing to talk about with Nikola, but JJ, you were on yesterday's stream, so we've already talked about it. So if you got something to talk about with Nikola, what is it? Just go ahead, put it in the comments, and don't call me. Uh-oh. Let's see, I got a message coming up. All right. Okay, I'm good. All right, well, I hope my audio is good. Looks like it is. So we've got lots of news, probably like 15, 20 different articles that we're going to chit chat about. And we're just going to wait for Brian to come on. I was running late today. Brian wasn't. Lily May says, hey Bear, when I watch the replay on 1.25 speed, do you get credit? No idea. I think that's been, I've seen that question come up somewhere on Google before. If you watch it in fast speed, do you? Now, if I would imagine that you might, if you get ads that come up. Fowler Farms, JJ, you mentioned that yesterday. What's the story with Fowler Farms? Because I did not look into it. I've been spending the last day and a half trying to buy a car, which everybody knows I'm really good at. Or I seem to keep doing. Fowler Farms makes apples. Okay. Are they electric apples? Are they Fowler Farms Sporting Clays skeet shooting range located in North Carolina? Yeah, anyway. So I spent the day trying to get another car. And boy, God, the scams and shams and stuff going on there is just ridiculous. I recorded some of it. Got some audio with one manager just telling me to, okay, thanks, bye, because I told him I wasn't interested in a dealer adjustment. $5,000 on a Camry hybrid. But I took a lot of pictures of different dealer addendums that they put on cars, and just the crazy stuff that they were putting on there just to mark up the car. I spoke to a dealer probably like 30 minutes ago, maybe 45 minutes ago about, let's see, Brian says Starlink problems. Okay. I'm going to give and. All right. Yeah, I spoke to a dealer and they were like, okay, so we don't have any dealer adjustments or anything. So, we're real good like that. And I said, okay, so what else do you have? Do you have any dealer add-ons? Yeah, we got some dealer add-ons. And they went on window tint, door edge guards, paint protection for the heat in Arizona, and a couple other things. And I was like, okay, so what's the total on these add-ons? $5,500. Like, okay, so you do have an additional dealer markup. So, yeah, no thanks, I'm good. I was like, go ahead and give me a call back when you want to negotiate a little bit more on that. I could have bought a Prius today. Not my first choice of cars, but it would be a brand new Prius for like $31,000. But $31,000 plus the $5,500 nonsense charge. So, not going there. Okay. Nikola everywhere. They are delivering, but waiting to announce until the market craziness subsides. So, you mean like sometime in 2024 they'll announce this? So, who knows? Who knows when that's coming? All right. We're going to leave. That's Brian's picture right there. Let's see. We could get started with the news. What do you guys think? Should we get started with the news? Should we do something else? Should I keep ranting about dealerships? Because that's what I do. All right. Let me get my page with the links up. Where did it go? Such a mess. Such a mess today. See, I think this is it. All right. So, oh, I hear something.
Okay.
Brian's back. Brian is
Hey,
back.
I am.
He has no video.
I am.
Let's see.
I am on it.
There. Oh God, but you're frozen. I don't know. Maybe we should
Howdy.
put up a poll whether or
Am
not
I?
Brian is really back.
I do look frozen. I
Yeah.
switched to Comcast,
Okay.
not as a life choice. Oh, for Christing out loud!
Well, we started. We are live. I don't know if you are.
Great. That is great. I'm not because my gosh darn. Just let's keep going.
Okay. Well, we didn't start any
Comcast.
articles. I was just ranting. I was talking about my dealership nonsense today. So, because
Yeah.
some people like to hear that. Not many.
Yeah.
So we never finished our order of our articles. So we have those last three. We can either throw them in the back or throw them in the front.
Just throw them in the back.
Back of the bus. Oh,
Back it go.
that's an Elon article in the back of the bus, and then a Rivian article in the back of the bus. There's a little teaser for you guys, and then a Nikola article right in the very back. Sorry, JJ. So that puts us with Electrify America as our number one. We're going to talk about that first article.
Let's do it.
All right. My AC's got to go on. I'm already sweating things that I don't want to. I'm sweating unmentionables right now. What's the temperature in Seattle? Like 58?
65 probably. It's lovely.
Oh, that is lovely. And do you have rain yet?
Always. Always.
All right.
So I'm going to have to make a quick announcement on mine that I can't get OBS to stream. Please head over to Bear's channel.
Yay, I'm going to get some views. Free views. Free views.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with that. So I'm on Comcast now instead of Starlink.
Great. Well, welcome to Comcast. That's always good to have a backup.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to. Oh, this is great because now I can totally call out the order since you've got nothing.
Okay, you can.
All right.
Yeah, you can.
Let's go to number 17. No, we did not number them. So,
No.
JJ says that feeling when Comcast is more reliable than Starlink. And who is this says, why isn't Brian live on his own channel? Because he has Comcast. Sorry. But everyone, come on over. All right. Welcome to Comcast Hell from Jeff. And David Huber says, computers make our lives easier. And I got a boo, time to scare Bear's Workshop from MD Hofsty. Digital Blade Canada says, I'm calling the shots. And Wendell says, you got me, Bear. I subscribed. Hey, next week, my stuff will go down. And everyone will go over there and maybe actually subscribe. We didn't, Jeff, we did not start the news yet. You caught me ranting about the dealerships that I spent a few hours at today, trying to buy a car without trying to get my rectum examined at the same time. So, all right, well, let's take a look at the first thing. And let me switch pages to Electrify America, Renewable Energy and Sustainability. Brian, I know you're cool, calm, and collected right now. Tell me about this.
So this is fun. Electrify America, and by the way, my Comcast is doing real slow. They're so proud. They're going completely green, but they're doing so by buying credits. And I guess that's better than nothing, but it's only barely better because these credits already exist whether or not they're being used. It doesn't create demand for new credits.
Okay, so that's complete BS. I didn't get a chance to read this article, except that I thought that they were going to put giant solar farms out in the desert. So they're buying solar credits and they think that makes them 100% renewable. That's
Yes.
I'm not a fan of the credits because I don't really think that all you're doing is taking something that somebody already did, paying money for it and saying, yeah, we're clean. You're not clean. You haven't changed anything. It's the other guy that's doing better than you, and you're just paying. So I've never been a fan of it. And like you said, they're just buying something that already existed. So that's a load of horse hockey. Let's be honest. Since
It is. There was
we're going to be the honest news channel, right?
well, a few years ago, the Oscars was so proud because for the first time ever, we're carbon neutral, and what they did was just paid $1,000 and bought a bunch of trees. And it's like, that's not the same thing, guys. And it's like, there's a lot of sites, a lot of channels that are like, if you buy our product, we'll plant a tree. How much does it cost to plant a tree, Bear?
Well, the trees that they plant when they actually say we're going to plant them, those cost less than $1.
Yeah, they're generally a dime.
Yeah. They should start a program where they have a pollution credit, like a company that doesn't pollute can sell pollution credits. So like a nuclear power plant that dumps their used radioactive material in the ocean and go, that's okay. We bought credits. I mean, what's the difference?
So dumb. But I mean, at least they're trying, at least they're doing something. They are looking to expand their actual renewables. That's good. But, a bit premature to start celebrating, guys.
Well, I guess it's good that they're making enough money to buy the credits, I suppose. So, I was looking through this article. I thought it was on like solar canopies, and they had something about a solar station that's not attached to the grid. I thought that was interesting. I couldn't imagine how that would actually work. Like as far as a car pulling up to it and getting charged at 3.5 kilowatts, which is deathly slow. That is about 14 miles per hour ish. That might work in that might work nowhere. So that's cool.
Right.
I mean, when you think you got to charge a car from, let's say, 20 to 80% on a pack that's 78 kilowatts. So what, you're losing 40%. So you need a good 40 kilowatts at 3.5 kilowatts. You're looking at a 14-hour charge time, but it's solar panel, so you're not going to have 14 hours of sunlight.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Every bit helps. Should we move on?
Yeah, we could, but was that sarcasm?
Well, no, every bit does help. The buying offsets doesn't create new demand. It's not like somebody's out there saying, we need to go start planting trees or doing whatever because there's so many people trying to buy offsets. Like you said, that already exists either way. They're just giving a few bucks to somebody else to feel better.
Yeah, well...
But they are doing other things too, so...
Well, I'm sorry, but a 3.5 kilowatt solar charger, the expense that is related to that with the materials, you want to talk about all the emissions that are used to create that one product that has really zero effect when it comes down to it, because it's not going to...
And also $2 million to install 30 of these level 2 guys. Yeah, that's not sustainable.
No, it's not. It's not at all. And that's my point. So yeah. All right. So next up, we have an interesting reallocation of money. Also, this like carbon credits. These are Volkswagen credits for trying to destroy the planet by cheating their way through every emissions standard that was ever created. This is pretty interesting. Illinois took the money and they put it back into EV stuff. So they're making electric public transit buses. And I heard also that those buses are going to be bulletproof. So that's an added bonus.
So do you know how it was that the Dieselgate thing worked?
From my understanding,
How they...
I could be wrong, but from my understanding, when a sensor was plugged in, it triggered something in the car to make it give out erroneous data, something along that lines.
Yeah. As soon as you plug into the ODB port, it goes into clean mode, which, drastically cuts horsepower and all that. But it will test perfectly clean, unplug from the OBD, and boom, it's dirty and fast again.
Did they ever think like somebody might be taking a measurement off of a Volkswagen without actually plugging into the sensor?
Not a government agency. I guess. I mean, it's an incredibly bold bit of fraud. And then I think there was a second step to it where they said, oh, okay, let's make it so that it's only on the OBD when it's between certain RPMs or something like that. And so there was a second step to the fraud. And it's like, guys.
Well, I gotta be honest. I was impressed. I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, and there's no getting out of that saying, "Oh no, this is a mistake," or "We didn't mean to do that." Yeah, there's no getting out of it. It's definitely bold. I'm kind of impressed in a bad way, because it's sort of like Ocean's 11. They're all robbing the bank or the vault, and you're just like, "Oh, this is so bad," but that's kind of impressive in a bad way. So
right.
They're now the anti-heroes.
So there's only 84 million left in the pot, and Illinois has said we're just going to dole it out for electric transportation and infrastructure. And 84 million does not go very far. 27 million for public transit. How many buses is that? Quite a few, maybe 50. 27 million for school buses. That'll go away. So it's something.
Where's kickbacks and bribes? I don't see that on this list.
Oh, that's all the line items.
That's all factored
the bus
into.
Makers, all factored in.
All factored in. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well.
So speaking of charging infrastructure.
Yes. Let's talk about that. I will go ahead and talk about that. So now.
Yeah.
Now, in the UK, Spain, Sweden, and Austria, non-Tesla EVs can use its supercharging station. So that is pretty cool. Any idea when that's going to expand to the US?
No. But it is believed that it will be within the next couple years, especially if there is charging money available through the infrastructure bill that passed. Yeah. The infrastructure bill that passed not long ago said charger expansion money is available as long as it is going to chargers that can charge any car or virtually any car out there. So the Leaf will still be out in the cold because it's got the CHAdeMO connector, but all the others using CCS should be able to charge at Tesla locations.
Do the new Leafs have that connector, or have they changed that?
I don't know about the new ones. I would hope not.
Well, I would hope not too. But
that was the best plug available when the first generation Leaf came out.
Which says that that's not good anymore. So
not good anymore.
Yeah, it's sort of like using the RGB cables on your video, right?
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd like to see that in the U.S. as I start getting other EVs come in. I'd love to be able to use the same charging network, and if I could have them all billed to one account, that'd be great for me. So
yeah. Well, wouldn't it be crazy if each manufacturer of gasoline cars had their own stations?
Yeah, but whose fault is that really? Is it Tesla's?
No, but it's okay. It's time to move past it, is what it is.
Yeah, it absolutely is. They need to be on the same standard. Standards are very important in life. I hate to say that and sound like an old man or something, but having everything on the same thing. God, I want the metric system so bad, but it's just too late in my life. So, anyway.
Well, don't worry. They assured us that it'll be in place in the next few years, 30 years ago.
Yeah. That sounds familiar. We do have
Americans are a second lot.
we have an article that's coming up that is very familiar, which we haven't gotten to yet, but I just gotta, because we've heard it so many times before, but it's just one different word. But anyway, Chrysler, the parent, Stellantis, picks Indiana for its next EV battery plant. And Stellantis is someone that has not, or a group that has not made a lot of noise about their EVs as far as their Dodge and their Ram products. They just keep showing us very well done CGI images of nothing, not much more. But yeah, Indiana gets a battery plant, so good for them.
And yeah, production for their plant is expected to be targeted for 2025. If that's real, 3 years isn't horrible. But again, big if.
Yeah, super big F. See, like, here's my prediction. All these predictions for 2025 are going to get pushed back because we're going to enter a recession and everyone's going to say, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have the money for it. Except for a couple players like Tesla, like that hat you're wearing right there. Because they've got themselves in a really good spot when everyone else suddenly falls on their face because of this dooming recession that we're going to have.
And I think we're going to see a lot of opportunities for all of the pure EV plays. So Rivian and Lucid may benefit from this as well, because I don't know, they're all pushing. It's do or die. They don't have a backup plan.
Yeah, the problem with like Rivian and Lucid is if the economy really goes in the tank, is that their supply issues are going to become worse. So let's just hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah. But this is SDI, which is who Ford is using. So if for some reason this gets started and then kind of falls apart on Stellantis's front, somebody's going to be able to buy those batteries.
That is true. That is true. If they get the factory created.
Yes, that is a big if.
Yeah. Man, my browser's just going all over the place. All right. So let's talk about this cute little thing.
Yeah. Nissan Sakura debuts as 14,000 electric K car with 112 miles of range.
That thing looks so incredibly small. It reminds me of that line from the Step Brothers. Do you ever see that movie, Step Brothers?
I sure did.
Okay. So there was a line where the guy's brother and his wife, that they were always fighting. The wife comes up to Dale or one of them and says something about him being like so cute. She wants to roll him up and stick it in her. That's the first thing that crossed my mind when I saw this car. It's so cute. I wanted to do something like that. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's quite the image.
It is.
I
appreciate.
So how big is that? How big is that?
Well, it's a 4-seater, but it's an Asian 4-seater. What I love is that, yes, it's a render, but fortunately they gave us the render in like 7 different colors. That must have taken an extra 10 minutes to do.
I hit play on this button, and this looks like an actual video of the car.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Oh my.
63 horsepower. Doesn't like my ad blocker, so it doesn't matter because no one's watching on my channel.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this video, and the car looks so small. There's a pebble next to it that looks like a boulder.
Nice. But they know what their market is.
Yeah.
K cars in Japan are a real thing, and 14,000 is priced right for that market.
Is it? I have no idea. Does it have safety features?
I mean, I assume so. Japan is a very forward-thinking market.
It's got rear sensor things on the back of it. So, and I don't know, it's just
It's important to remember that Japan is not China.
Yeah, yeah. I know. But it's also Nissan, and Nissan's gotten themselves a really bad rap lately. So,
Yeah.
it's
But
just
they are a real car company. If they say this will be 2023, I'm inclined to believe them. Because this isn't like a dream car. It's a
no, yeah. There's I don't think there's a whole lot of like new engineering going on in this thing. I would agree with that. I think there's a Barbie doll sitting upright in the back seat, and her head is over the headrest. All right, we should move on though.
Sure.
Now here's a car from some friends in Asia, from Genesis. This is South Korean, right? This is Kia,
Yes.
Kia and Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Yeah. This actually looks pretty good. It looks a lot like the EV6. I don't know if it's based on that platform or not, but I think this is a sharp-looking car. And if I fit,
And Genesis is a comfortable. It's their premium line. It's their Acura. It's their Lexus. And the price, 60 grand. That's a hell of a deal.
It is and it isn't, but because when you look at it, and this is all a matter of how you like to spend your money, it does say in the article that it's based on the Ioniq 5 in the EV6. So for another $20,000, you're getting this car. So you're just paying for that luxury. But if you want the same car with the pretty much close to the same specs, get an EV6 or.
But there are people who would like to buy, who would like the luxury.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. That
How much? Yeah. How much more is a Cadillac over the identical GM product?
whatever it is, I just hit some sort of shirt ad. What the hell? What the holy hell? I was looking at Genesis, and now I'm looking at men's size shirts on eBay.
I can't blame you.
Well, I just don't think now's a good time for me to go shopping. I clicked on one. I clicked on one of the pictures in the bottom so that I could see the inside, and I ended up with that. I'm gonna try
Well, what
this
I
one
would
more
like to
time.
point out to my viewers who've come over to your channel is that if this was on my channel, the professionalism would still be there. This is the kind of low rent stuff you get from Bear.
Yeah, absolutely. I clicked on it again, and now I've got car seat covers for a Tacoma RAV4. So they put.
Let's talk about that.
Shall we? So they literally put ads like where you can click on different pictures of the car. They had ads in there. So when I clicked on one of them, instead of getting like the inside of the car, which I thought I was looking at, I got some seat covers and some shirts the first time. Well, okay. Thank you, Inside EV, for that. I appreciate it. But anyway, I think it's a sharp-looking car. It's got the same stats as the EV6 in the Ioniq 5, or give or take. So I imagine that it's going to drive nice. The EV6 drove nice when I drove it, and it had a lot of get up and go on the dual motor. So I like.
And the
I liked it.
314 horsepower may sound low, but it really isn't. It really isn't. You know, it wasn't that long ago that sports cars didn't have that kind of horsepower.
Yeah, there's some Corvettes that had less than that. Corvette got down as low as 190 horsepower, I think. Sad but true.
Cool.
So, Corvettes used to be a top-selling car. Now they're just a sold-out car. What else is a sold-out and top-selling car?
Well, you know, I saw that the Tesla Model Y and 3 outsold other EVs in California, but wake me up when they outsell all cars.
Well, wake up!
They outsold all cars. All cars. The Camry, the Accord, the F-150, they outsold those two models. Both of them outsold everything else in California. And by the way, they don't even qualify for the federal or the state EV rebates.
Yeah. Well, Brian, we got to be honest about this. The reason they're outselling them is the other car companies are not producing them.
Yes, that's true, but they're
But
still out. But they're still outselling them.
okay, I don't think that's a testament to how good the cars are. I think it's a testament to how good Tesla is at production and keeping up with
Absolutely.
their supply chain. And that's important. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Because the fact that 21,812 is enough to take the top spot, that the RAV4 in third place is only at 16,000 units, that is anemic.
Oh yeah. Well, it's going right back to supply issues and why I went into a Toyota dealership today and they told me that they're going to charge me extra just if I buy their car. So, and all I was getting from them, they would give me a thank you card. That's all that was promised. Tesla's sticking to their prices, and you order the car, it's stuck at the price.
A
So,
thank you card.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
we'll give you a $50 gas card. What am I going to do with that?
get to the end of the block.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so here's the full stats with all of the car sales, top selling models in each segment, new light vehicle registrations year to date 2022 through March. And if anybody wants to look at that in depth, there it is. And I've been on it long enough that anybody can pause it and look. And we're going to move right on to EVs are shoving aside real volumes.
Now, this would have been more exciting to me a few years ago because I would have said, as soon as this happens, the price for gasoline will come down. But now we've seen that even with the price of oil, of a barrel of crude going down, the price of gas don't come down. It's all supply and demand, and the oil companies know that you will pay whatever gasoline costs, so let's charge you.
Yeah, it's getting pretty horrible out there, and geez, I don't know what to say about it because there's some real screwed up things going on in the economy right now that does not look easily recoverable from.
No,
So
no, no. It's going to be, the pain will get worse before it gets better, I am afraid.
yeah, and when do you think it's going to get better?
I would say within 2 years, in terms of both the supply chain and just kind of things getting a bit more normal.
Yeah, what if they come up with another virus?
I can't imagine what it would be called. It'd have to have a very silly, funny name, like monkey pox.
Pox. Yeah.
Yeah, but monkeypox is very easy to avoid and not very dangerous. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
It drives clicks.
Yeah, it does because I've seen a couple different articles, and one said that it's rarely fatal, and then another one said that it can be fatal in 1 out of every 10 cases, which is 10%, which is enormous.
Enormous. That's not accurate.
Yeah, and clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. I think the next virus they should call it the ID Buzz.
I think they should call it the Maryland.
Yeah. Yeah, we're skipping right over to the ID Buzz. I keep clicking on it by accident, so we're going to it. Actually, no. Let's do the other one first because it's a
Sure.
better lead-in. Volkswagen chief says German car giant will overtake Tesla on electric vehicle sales by 2025. This is like an article that was taken and it said GM chief Mary Barra says GM will overtake Tesla on electric vehicle sales by 2025. Is it not the same exact thing?
It's not because Volkswagen is actually pushing. Volkswagen's already got factories built. They've already got tons of cars on the road. I think Herbert Diess is vastly more serious than Maryland.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely more believable.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an ID4 on the road today. Probably the fourth one I've seen in my life. I've actually seen more Polestars on the road. somehow.
I've seen a lot of Polestars for some reason.
Yeah, which is really odd.
And
But
I've seen the Kias too.
I've only seen one Kia. So, and I saw my first Ioniq 5 on the road today. I saw a lot today. It was quite an enlightening day. So, Volkswagen does have a better chance than GM. Let's go ahead and recap. How many cars did GM put out in December of last year? Electric cars.
More than I can count on both hands and feet. By 4.
By That's right. That is absolutely right. By 4.
Isn't it? Like 24, 25?
It was 20. I think it was 26, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, the last couple digits only matter when you're in the hundreds of thousands, not the double digits. So, or maybe if you're counting how many bullets you have left and because you're in Chicago and you need more bullets, that matters how many bullets you have.
Well, I'm in Hollywood where guns never run out of bullets.
That's cool. I love that feature. I always wanted to move there, so I wouldn't run out of bullets.
How do you feel about sidewalk poo?
Well, I go to San Francisco for my sidewalk poo.
The problem is they don't have bathrooms for the homeless. So what are you going to do? So let's go to that ID Buzz article.
You know what? When you said that, how do you feel about? I thought you were going to do a segue into the next article and said, "I got sidewalk poo." So, yeah, you know what? The sidewalk poo is a little different than just the problem is not so much that because dogs crap on the ground and people step in it and they get pissed, but it's when people poo like right in front of you as you're walking that gets it a little bit. That's when it really gets awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of your poo stories.
Try to relax. Volkswagen's new ID Buzz will cost over $60,000 in Europe. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm okay with that.
I'm definitely not. I think that's I think they've definitely already priced in inflation. I think we can say that. You do get $7,500 back on your EV tax credit. Yeah, so what?
Yeah. But it's not a performance car. It's not a luxury car. It's just a car.
It's just a minivan with a different shell. And it's an EV. I really am starting to believe that these car manufacturers are really appreciative of the U.S. government giving out the $7,500 tax credits because they're just raising the prices by that so that they're not taking as much as a loss or they're making a little bit of a profit. And that money is going directly into their pocket. But all it's actually done, I think at this point, is raise the price of these vehicles. I think they would have been cheaper. But I will still take my tax credits this year that I get.
Right?
Not going to turn it down, but...
Yeah. No. Be crazy too.
Yep.
Yeah, and when you said it's just a different shell, it's just a different face.
Yeah.
The shell is minivan.
When I say shell, I'm just talking about the outside look, and you could put any kind of body panel on anything, and you know.
But I mean, from the A pillar back, it's still boring.
Boring. Yeah, it is, but maybe they should have put like 26 windows in it. Well, like they had the old buses that had that. Those were classic.
Yeah, around the top edge.
Yeah.
Those were cool.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Tesla's been recalled for.
Brian? Yeah, choppy again.
You frozen?
A little choppy.
I froze, didn't I?
You froze.
Yeah. Did you hear that Tesla's been recalled for unintended acceleration?
No. It wasn't Tesla. No? Nice try.
Who was it then?
It was the Mach-E.
That's weird because that would make sense why this isn't front page news, but buried deep on Drive Tesla Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this was a Tesla story, it would be front page news.
Well, there's a narrative that has to be reached. So, and the Mach-E having this problem, it's just another problem. So, I'm glad they found this now, though, before I got mine.
Right?
Though I will tell you,
and I don't imagine this affected very many vehicles.
No, it says like 464. I think unintended vehicle acceleration can be kind of fun. I mean, just depends on where you're at. You don't want anyone to get hurt, but if you're just like sitting there and you just go, it could make for an interesting night,
Yeah. Makes for an interesting story should you survive.
Should
and
you
if
survive?
you don't, on the plus side, at least you didn't have to survive.
Well, that's when your life insurance kicks in and you make your spouse happy for the first time in your life. So. So Tesla is building a ginormous 100-stall supercharger station in Barstow, California. And I assume we're looking at a rendering in this picture. But I hope it looks like that. And I hope they put some drive-through stalls in there. As in Cybertruck with a trailer. No? You don't think so?
Well, or any kind of towing. Because the thing is, that route already has a lot of charging. It's already got a lot of stuff. So if you go down to the bottom, there's some pictures on Twitter. They don't reveal much other than that it's going to be large. But it would make sense to add something, A, with CCS charging, and B, with pull-through spots for towing. Because those are the two missing elements on that route.
Yes. What, speaking of routes, I'm going to zoom in. That's off of I-40. Okay. Yeah, I know there's a lot of charging on I-10, which is just south of there. I-40, just a little bit north. And there's some really good charging stations. They've got a 44, I think it's in Quartzsite or around there, 44 stall charging station, Quartzsite, that is 250 kilowatts, which is fast. You go in there and you're like, my car's charging at 1,000 miles per hour. And then it dives down, but you get excited for 2 minutes. So sort of like unintended acceleration.
Yeah. Jeff in the comments said that this picture at the top that has what you can really call pull-throughs is real, and it's in Kettleman City. Is that what he said? Yeah. And so I don't know what the etiquette is on using up two spots as a pull-through, but if it's not at capacity, I don't see why it would be a problem.
Well, I can tell you why it's a problem right now. If those are pull-through spots designed for someone with a trailer, you are going to take out one of those stalls because those are not properly positioned for pulling a trailer.
They're too skinny.
It's not only are they too skinny, but when you pull through, like they show that gray Tesla there, when you pull through to come out the other side, you are not going to easily make that left turn, especially if there's a car in one of those spots. I tow 30-foot trailers a lot, and it's very easy to clip your butt on the way out when you're trying to make the turn. They need to be out in the open like they have with semi trucks. Like when they're getting gas, they don't pull into a gas station like this, and that's exactly how you have to look at it. Could a semi pull in through there and then pull out? No. So there are fifth wheels that will be 40 feet long, and they're attached to a 20-foot truck. Yeah. So they need.
And a fifth wheel, I don't know if it would even squeak under that canopy.
Looking at that one side, a typical RV is around 12 to 13 feet tall. So
okay,
it'd
fit.
Yeah, it's gonna be close.
Yeah, well, did you want to keep your AC unit?
No, See, I mean,
Well,
it will fit without AC units, but they will be pulled off like the 11'8" bridge, if you know what I'm talking about.
I love that one.
Yeah, I would just sit there
So
and
did you hear
collect
that?
ACs. Go ahead.
Did you know that Tesla is not really a green, sustainable company?
I heard that they are
It's a
the biggest polluters ever.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but it's official. They're not good. S&P, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, this is
The S&P,
it reeks of something.
it sure does. It sure does. So the S&P, this is, in my opinion, the third issue with them. The first being they took forever to add Tesla to the S&P 500. The second being they still don't rate Tesla as investment grade. And now this absolute hogwash. Pardon my language.
Oh my God, what did you say?
I won't say it again.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to be demonetized.
Yeah, so basically what they did is they took all the criteria that makes a company good and sustainable and green and changed it. They, in statistics, you'd call it p-hacking. You start with all your outcomes, and then you work backwards to find out where you can move it so that it actually is, so that you get the outcome you want.
Yeah. Well, shame. Shame, shame, shame.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame. If you're going to be biased, try to not be so obvious about it, because this is just dumb.
Yeah, it's actually not dumb. It's corrupt. There has
It's
to be
corrupt.
there has to be some sort of corruption, because I fail to believe that people are this stupid. It's just the way I'm going with it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what are you going to do? Sue them?
yeah, there's no recourse. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably get on YouTube and watch another Sandy Munro video. And please do not say Sandy, because during prep, when Brian and I were prepping, every time he said Sandy, the line cut out. It literally, he'd go, Sandy. And we were trying to place this article in our list, so it happened 3 times in a row. And at that point, we lost the connection, but I'm over here screaming, stop saying Sandy! Because I knew that was the problem. So,
I won't say it.
Yeah.
I won't say it.
So, Sandy takes a peek under Misco Electric's new Model Y front. So, I would like you to talk about this, but please say Mr. Munro so that we don't have any issues.
So the host of Munro and Associates channel, Munro Live, got to meet with Misco Electric, who brought out, she was shocked. She had an order in for Model Y, and she got a call saying, you can pick it up in a week. To which Sandy said, oh, oops. To which he said, you must have gotten a reject. Somebody did not pick this up. Somebody ordered it, got it, and then didn't pick it up. So they started looking over it, and I'm not one to call out panel gaps, but these were visible from space. So I don't know if you've had a chance to watch the video, but he's looking at it, and even before he starts pointing them out, even with just a video, you look at it, you go, wow, what in the heck is going on? The answer is, we have so much demand.
Okay,
Yes.
your Comcast, your internet connection is just allergic to Munro videos. Because you're getting all choppy.
Yeah. And I'm not even watching the video. I don't even have it running.
Yeah, I don't have it running either. Because I'm afraid what it's going to do to your connection. But it was definitely a decent video. You guys should take a look at that after the show, not right now. Did everyone get thrown off? Because I'm looking at my numbers and my current viewers went from like 40 something down to like 10, and then it jumped back up. So I'm wondering if people got thrown off or something. Anybody had any problems on my side? Let me know. Let me know. All right. So Rivian.
Well, what I was saying was what I was saying is, what are you going to do about all those lies from S&P and bias and Business Insider nonsense. What are you going to do? Sue him?
There you go. There will be blood. I almost jumped the article. Oops. There will be blood. Elon Musk announces the litigation department amidst allegations. And it's only going to be a department that goes after things that are not true. And they literally said if it's a justifiable complaint or article, so be it. You know, fair is fair. But if it's BS, there will be blood. So that's good. Maybe that's what they really need is a PR.
Yeah, the times he has settled out of court, he's never been happy with. But like you said, if it's justified, we'll take our lumps. And if it's not, even if we can't win, there will be blood.
Which is excellent. I would like to see some blood flowing after my Mach-E loses control of itself.
Yeah, and it's it's very frustrating. By the way, Digital Blade Canada said, I saw it, panel gaps, so what? Sandy, said it again, is saying...
Did you really just say Sandy? Okay, that proves it. Everyone saw that happen. He's still not back. He said Sandy again. And we've lost Brian. Oh, there's the devil inside his computer. And the devil does not like Sandy. Yeah, we lost him. What a shame. What a shame. You can't say anything about Sandy Munro. That's like a deep state thing, protecting Sandy Munro from Brian. All right. I don't know if he's coming back or not. But, let's see. So, I'll give him a couple minutes. We'll go back through some of these comments. Jeff said Sam Alexander did a nice expose on who decides at S&P. I missed that, but that is one that I probably need to go back to. And I can't get over the fact that his last word was like Sandy and he got cut off again. Yep, he's gone now. He is completely gone. There's his image that comes up when he has lost his connection.
There we go.
Do you know what your last word was?
What? Sandy.
Okay. Yeah, put your video on and stop saying it.
So what happened?
Don't say it again.
So, would you believe my Comcast died on me? And now I'm back on Starlink.
Oh, God.
I literally went and switched the modem back over.
Okay, just don't say the word.
I won't say it.
Yeah, I mean, we've just got a couple minutes left. We can get through this without you.
Oh, no, we've got more because we started late.
Well, we do, but yeah, we still, otherwise we'd be done right now. We will finish within extra couple of moments. But just don't say.
No, I won't.
I can say it, but your computer ain't good with it at all. All right, so where were we? So I could say it. Sandy was saying something about, and then you were going to continue.
Oh, just that there was, if the panel gaps are super egregious, you end up with wind noise and other issues. And there could be leak issues if they're too egregious. But really, if you can, I don't care about it. But on that particular model that Misco Electric had, I think it would. They were egregious enough that they would have bothered me. But that's also coming out of Fremont, which is a very old generation factory, and Texas is ramping, Berlin is ramping. Shanghai has already shown how good the quality can be out of a new factory.
Yeah.
So it's hope. There's hope.
Okay. So panel gaps, for my opinion on them, is I hate them. I've had them on numerous vehicles, and there are certain manufacturers that align their panels with computers, and then there's others that must not. And Tesla must not. GM doesn't. I had panel gaps on my 2019 Cadillac Escalade. to the point where my door was out of alignment, and I had to bring the truck in to get it fixed. Because when you went over 100 miles per hour, the door would vibrate outward because it wasn't sealed properly.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I've had it in other vehicles. I've had a Ford F-350 that I bought brand new. Like, I think it was a 2014. And there was a piece of body. It was a small piece, like smaller than the size of my hand, but it was out of alignment. And I asked them about it when I bought it. And they're like, well, we can fix that, but you have to bring it back in. But I'm like, screw it. I'll just, every time I walk past it, I had to put my hand over it. I couldn't look at it. But I've had plenty of vehicles like that. Now, back in the early 90s, when I worked at a car dealership and sold Toyotas, they used to have us drag cars out. We would take like a 1990 Toyota Tercel and stick it next to a Cadillac and compare the panel gaps between the two cars, because the Tercel was spot on and the Cadillac would be like, it looked like someone just got punched in the face. And you're talking a $6,000 Tercel compared to a $60,000 Cadillac. It was that two-seater that they had back then. And we would like do comparisons of the cars. And they told us, in our training, before they trained us how to steal money from people, they'd say, compare panel gaps between any car on this lot, any new Toyota, to any car that's in the parking lot that they drove in on, and just look at the panel gaps. Toyota uses computers to line up their hoods, their fenders, their doors, and this is 1990. Okay, this should not still be a thing. Should not still be a thing.
And we're getting mixed opinions in the comments. Wendelin says panel gaps are not acceptable. I say they are within tolerance, but the ones we saw in that video, to me, not within tolerance, not even close. I would have also, I can't imagine rejecting a car. I would have rejected that one.
Yeah, it's hard when you get built up for a car that you want and then have to say, nope, fix it. There are panel gaps on my Model Y that came from the factory, and I see them every time I get in, because if I look at my right side mirror and I look back towards my right quarter panel, it's smooth. The door transitions to the quarter panel smoothly. On the driver's side, there is a something, and it's just plain as day, and I see it every time I'm driving. And I don't know if I was instilled with panel gap issues when I was selling cars when I was in my early 50s 40 years ago or what, but yeah, it's always a thing that I notice because of that, because I was raised that way. My mom did. My mom taught me panel gaps are bad.
Any news about Rivian?
Yeah. Here we go. The article is slowly coming up. Okay. So Rivian delivery delays frustrating some early adopters. What they're doing is they're completing some vehicles that have certain options and not completing others that don't have certain options, and people are getting pissed about it. But I kind of get it, because I think the cars that they can't do, they don't have the materials for, is what I'm hoping. Either they don't have the materials or they haven't quite figured out the process to make it with those options. So
I'm going to take the conspiracy side and say they're trying to sell the $110,000 ones before the identical $75,000 one.
And that's possible, but I haven't looked into this, and the people who are complaining, are they the $75,000 ones?
They must be. They must be.
But how big of a conspiracy is that? Because you've got Lucid is making they made their Dream Editions first, and then they went to their GTs. Now they threw in their GT Performance, and they front-loaded those people. These are all the more expensive cars. And the people who ordered the Lucid Air Pures, they're last in line. But that's what we were told.
But they always knew they would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas with this, you bought a founder's edition for 70, 80,000. They tried to change the price on you. They agreed, okay, fine, we'll honor that price. They've got so many pre-orders at that price. I think they have to mix it up, or their balance sheet's going to be even more catastrophic.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tesla was just accused of this just a couple months ago because they were saying that if you added FSD to your car, boom, your delivery time would be cut in half or less. It would go from 6 months to a month. And that's really the same exact thing. They're adding options that are making them money. And it started making its way around Twitter. And I think Tesla caught on to it, that people were starting to get a little upset about it. And it stopped as quickly as people noticed it. Within like a week or two, it no longer happened. So, I don't really blame them in a way. A little bit. They should still kind of keep trying to pump some of these out. But I don't think that they should be front-loading someone who added every option imaginable and ordered it last week. That person should not go in the front. So I hope that's not happening.
So that's all we got this week, right?
Oh, well, we've got the We Want to Make JJ Feel Okay article. And I don't even think JJ is actually even here anymore because I have not seen him pop up. But before we do go, remember everyone, next week you tune in here because I have the internet that works. Sorry.
It does.
Sorry, Brian.
That's true.
This is a video that I put up yesterday during my Nikola live stream. And this is a picture of a Nikola tray and a video that's going to follow it, showing the Nikola tray pulling this trailer out, a 53-foot long trailer at Delta Cargo Hub in Atlanta. I don't know if it's a cargo hub, but just pulling cargo in Atlanta. So the driver says it's getting about 250 miles of range from, I think it was from 20 to 80% or 0 to 80%, something like that. Whatever it said right at the front. And this is one of the trucks that was sold or leased or lent to Covenant. I don't know if, and they are a trucking firm here in the U.S. Well, thank you, Mopar, Den, for that super chat. I appreciate that. Too bad Brian couldn't get something like that because his internet doesn't work.
Couldn't get one anyway.
I know. Don't ruin
my channel is not yet monetized because I don't have. It's only been 4 months. Why would I have enough subscribers?
Well, all your guys are over here right now.
I know.
And thank you for that. So make sure when you come back next week, you come here.
So I have a question for Bear and for everyone who's watching this. You can see a lot of the connectors are exposed to the elements. Is that an issue?
I don't think so.
I don't think so because I think they would be exposed on the underside of an EV anyway.
They would be.
So if they're fine underneath, they should be fine out on top.
Absolutely. I mean, there is some degree of keeping the cables secure. You don't want things to get caught on them, dragged around. Oftentimes there's chains and things like that on the back of trucks. So you don't want to hook anything. But I think that if that's an issue that would have come up during the testing that the different companies were doing, they would have probably seen that and said, hey, you got to do something about this. I'd like to think that would happen.
Well, and I can't imagine an oversight of that magnitude would happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's like at the construction site, at the Nikola site, we often see cabs sitting outside. We see stacks of tires and frames, and my first reaction every time I see it is like, man, the sun's just beating down on it. You're going to ruin it. I'm like, oh God, this stuff's outside for its entire life. What's the difference?
Well, this is an indoor vehicle. What is it, a Zamboni?
Yeah, it's a Zamboni.
So the last one I wanted to talk about was this ridiculous Forbes article. Tesla stock losses top 575 billion as investor patience wears thin with Elon Musk's Twitter circus show.
Yeah, I never got this article link. If you,
Oh, I just sent you a picture of it in the general chat.
all right,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The whole point of it is the whole market's down. The Twitter thing may have had some impact, but the main impact is the whole market is down. Everything is down.
that's a fact. This is just FUD, because if the whole market was stagnant, or if it was up, and there could be some validity to this argument, but everything is down. I know Ford is off like 30%, and Carnival's off like 30%. All of them, just like all the stocks that I'm familiar with on the top of my head, they're all off. So why? Why is this just more clickbait? Yes, of course it is.
Yes. It's like blaming one person for gas prices. It's not one person. It's global. It's everything. So whatever. The big thing is, and I know there's a lot of, I would say most of the people who watch these videos are invested at least in the market, but more specifically in tech. And my lesson, the moral of the story is be patient. In 6 months' time, in a year's time, this will all be forgotten.
I won't forget about it. But
Ron King did say connections are normal for all trucks, and that's a good point. The trailer's got a bunch of stuff to connect to. So yeah, out exterior connections. That's a good point, Ron. Thank you for that.
I guess it's the high voltage lines that always make you wonder. I know on the Nikola, the high voltage lines they have an orange coating on them, and I don't believe I saw any orange lines.
I think I did.
Ah!
I think I did. In about the first 30 seconds there. There was a comment here. There were some questions as to why that particular style of truck design for the Nikola. And I think the answer, and Barry, you can tell me whether I'm off base here, is that it's an Iveco truck, so it's already a European design, but that also means it can be it can be sold in Europe as well.
Yes. Those are correct statements. Iveco was the company that they did partner with. Because it's a cab-over semi, this will easily transition over to Europe without having the issues that a full-size rig, a typical American sleeper cab, would have, because all the designs that they're putting into these sleeper cabs are not going to translate over to Europe, but this will in a heartbeat, because this is a proven truck on European roads. The only problem it may have in Europe is its weight, because it's 29,000 pounds.
But I believe they got an exemption for electric semis in Europe. Is that not the case?
Well, that may be the case. I don't know if that's going to cover everywhere, but there is still places that it's not just a restriction because we want to have some sort of regulation. It's because the roads just can't handle. So you've got bridges that will have limits on tonnage. So
the other thing is you don't need a sleeper cab when you've only got 250 miles of range.
Right. But that's something for the future for Nikola.
Yeah, that's a day truck.
Yes.
Of which there is massive, massive demand. So, to me, it's don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Let's just get the truck out there.
Yes. I'm going to zoom in real quick and see if I see any of those high voltage lines. I see one wire that is the orange color. So, and we can only assume that that's what it is, but it could also be something else. I don't know why there'd be one wire up in that spot where it is. That would be high voltage.
I want to take a minute to thank everyone for being here today. I want to thank especially my people for coming over to Bear's channel, because Bear does good work. And would you believe it? I actually watch his videos, even though he doesn't pay me to do it, because I find value in them and interest in them. And I appreciate all you guys sticking with me and dealing with showing your patience with all my dueling internet problemos.
Yes, and thanks for dragging me down with them. I appreciate that. And I also,
Hey, at least I showed up.
yeah, yeah. I was wondering if you were going to come back, but I
I
do.
was too there for a minute.
I do want to thank all my Patreons. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I will be live streaming the Lucid site tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get out early and get it done, but who knows with the schedule. But we will be on tomorrow for that. So thank you everyone for being here. And
yeah, thanks again to Mopar Den for the super chat on Bear's channel. He needs that, man. That's you're literally making it able for us to be here. Thanks to Wendelin and Paul and Jeff on my side, who do all support me on Patreon. You guys literally make this happen because I enjoy hanging out with Bear, but just like a lot of things I enjoy doing, I wouldn't do it on camera unless there was a little bit of money involved.
Wow.
Monetize that, Bear.
Okay. Well. All right. Well, why don't you say, Sandy,